we're finally out here in the woods. It's about 75 degrees. The mosquitoes are biting, but we're gonna walk around and see what we could find today. Mostly just do some scouting. They already bit me on the hand. It's overcast, cloudy, so it shouldn't be too hot yet. And we'll see what we find. You can see the mosquitoes flying around. They're thick. It's rained so much the past few days that these mosquitoes are just obnoxious. So I'm gonna try to keep moving a little bit and hopefully they leave me alone. Ooh, ooh. There's a pig right in front of me. Doesn't even know I'm here. There it goes. Alright guys, so I stopped and listened for about 2 minutes. And there's about a 70 or 80 pound pig just under that broken tree. You can see a bit of the trail that comes through here. And it walked up right to the edge of this water to me. I was trying to get a video of it, but you can see where I'm standing here. It came into about 10 yards. I thought it was gonna walk on top of me, honestly. Well, that was pretty cool. That pig didn't even know I was here. I mean, there's no wind out here, and I guess it's used to a little bit of human traffic because it didn't seem to mind at all. I could tell. You can see the road here. There's my coffee. You can see somebody already drove through here this morning, probably one of the park rangers. But I stopped here because there's a good amount of sign. So I stopped here and listened for a few minutes because you could see all this was rutted up. This is all from this morning. It is super fresh. The water's pooling in it. That's how fresh it is. And it didn't rain last night. So this is a good area for these pigs. And if you can see, I'll step to the side. You could see their trail that they're working right there. That broken stick where they came in. Because they've got big old bellies and they drag on the ground. And then they just came across this road here, the road. And then the trail continues where I just showed you. Back up there, past that tree and off into the woods. I use Onyx maps to kind of track where I'm going and mark sign, everything like that. Where I might want to sit, where I might want to climb a tree or something like that. So I'll do that right now. Sorry, mosquitoes are terrible. Looks like we found another little game trail here. It doesn't seem to be too well used. There's a couple tracks on it down here. Let's see where something larger came through this morning. Definitely looks like a pig. As you can see, his feet sink down. But those two tips of his toes, they don't come together at the tip. They stick out instead of coming together like a deer. That's usually how you tell the difference. But these tracks look old because you can see they're washed out. But yeah, it looks like maybe two or three came through here. There's some more that are a little bit smaller there. And this is actually some dry ground, as you can see. You know, it's pretty wet, so you can see where they're gonna wanna stick to using dry ground coming through here. But I might take a walk. Who knows what we'll find. Maybe we'll find a more well beaten down trail back there and maybe a tall enough tree to go sit in. So let's take a walk. Alright guys, the mosquitoes are freaking brutal, so I'm going to try to do this quick, but I'm going to set up a a little trail cam on this little pin oak right here. Ooh wee, they're buzzing. So I'm at the convergence of two intersecting trails. It's hard to tell, but one goes right back up through there as well. And I can see that it's pretty open for a while. And this is some dry ground compared to what's around it. Then there's a kind of a trail that goes that way. A pig trail, looks like. I don't think a deer would use it, but under that branch past those palmettos. And then here, looks like something a deer may use more because it's taller, but that doesn't mean a pig won't. But it's all dry. And I have a couple options of trees here if I do see anything on these cameras. So, the breeze just picked up a bit. It's actually coming right in my face right now. So I'm gonna take this time to set up this camera, and these mosquitoes leave me alone. Look at that. You see that? Look at that. Come on. Well, as you can see, I had a buff this whole time and I forgot it was in my pocket. So the mosquitoes aren't as bad anymore. But I wanted to show you guys some more of this rooting, just in case you're unfamiliar with it, and kind of explain what it is, why they do it, and why people don't like it. Alright, so video never really shows depth of field, but I'll try to explain it the best I can. So as you can see, these pigs come in and they root with their nose. They dig down into that dirt and they flip it up basically, and they're rooting around for bugs, grubs, the roots of these plants, stuff like that. They stick their nose down in there, root around, and then move on to the next spot. And as you can see, these areas where this water congregates, they'll just come in and tear it up. And the reason why this is so bad for people and why they don't like the hogs here is because once they tear up the ground like this, it will never go flat again. Like, the ground might be flat back there, but if this was your backyard or somewhere you farm for agriculture, this wouldn't be flat, so you couldn't plant anything in there. You'd have to drive over it, till it up, let it settle, and then you can go back and plant again. So that's why people don't like them tearing up their fields and their yards and shit, because it makes it unusable. There's something walking up to me from over there. I can't hear because these stupid mosquitoes. I saw this from about 15 feet away, but I'll show you guys real quick. See that stick right there? What pigs will do is they'll walk up and rub their sides up against that stick as they come past it. You can see that they've obviously been here. There's a bit of a trail. And they'll come up and they'll rub the dirt and scrape all the bugs and parasites and stuff off them from rolling around in the water. And that's why it's dirty. And this one's even wet. So you can tell that they've been here, you know, the past 2-3 hours at least, maybe up to 6 to 8, but they're here. All right, I found another little stick that they rub on here, but I was going to show you what they're coming out to do. So I'm back on the main trail. I'm walking back up towards the truck. I'm probably going to go scout somewhere else real quick. But as you can see, they tore away all of this. Then if you look behind me, I'll get a close-up. That's their trail. And then that right there, you almost can't see it because it's so dark. That stick is covered in mud, and that's where they come in. They rub on it after they come and wall around in the dirt. All right, so that's that stick that they're rubbing on. It's similar to like when deers have their rubs and scrapes. They use it for a different purpose, but it's kind of the same concept. If you're good at noticing, a deer rub and a deer scrape, you'll start seeing these everywhere, especially where they're either coming in or out to feed. As you can see, they come over here. Then they tear up the ground. So I'm probably gonna walk down to that opening right there, see what I see, and I'm gonna turn around and go back. All right, we're heading back to the truck. Walked far enough. I'm gonna go check out one more spot, and we'll see what we find. But I don't know, there's a good amount down here. I kind of started off as far back as I really wanted to go. Far back as from the entrance, and as far back as I wanted to walk, because, you know, if you shoot at a pig, you know, you don't always want to shoot a pig that weighs over 100 pounds, but that will, if it walks up on you, that's what you're gonna shoot. And I don't want to drag a 100+ pound pig a few miles through ankle knee deep water. That wouldn't be fun. So we're gonna go check out a little bit closer spots. They might get a little bit more pressure, but these animals really don't seem to mind. Look at this trail. Yeah, a hippo could walk through that. That's a 150 pounder right there. That's the one I don't want to really shoot and drag 4 miles back that way. All right, so we made it back to the truck. We didn't die. Good news. Other good news is there's a lot of pigs around here. At least there's a lot of pigs sign. I mean, there has to be a good amount for the amount I've seen. I haven't even gone that deep in looking for them, which is good and bad, because it's good there's a lot of pigs around here. Bad there's a lot of pigs around here, because that means it's going to be hard to pinpoint where they're mainly traveling to and from, and you know, the main trails that they're using. So hopefully this other spot that I go to is a little bit easier to read, I guess, because this one, I mean, there's a sign everywhere, kind of all over the road. Everywhere I walked, there was tracks. They're rutting everywhere. I saw that one walking. I was maybe, you know, a quarter mile from the truck. So I mean, they're out here. We just got to figure out either where they're eating or where they're sleeping. Spot number 2. It's pretty much just a game trail. It's closer to the entrance, but it's on the map. You kind of see that it's marked as like a small little service road, little trail, but it's so overgrown because I guess they stopped using it anymore. But it makes it easier for animals to walk on, I guess, and easier for me to walk on. So I'm going to use it to work my way back here to these taller pines. See if I can pick out somewhere to sit, but it's looking good. All right, guys, so I'm back here on this trail. You can see it's pretty well defined. Normally I wouldn't, yeah, it goes back there too. Normally I wouldn't want to sit on a trail like this just because it's kind of more exposed, I guess. There's not much, I don't see much for sign. Like, I see tracks on the ground. And they're from probably today because it rained last night, so I really wouldn't see them. But they're kind of the reason I'm thinking about picking this tree right here behind me. Yeah, that one. Well, number 1 is because it looks easy to climb. There's a bunch of bushes on the bottom of it. Number 2 is this trail is actually a pinch point in between 2 ponds. And the ponds are pretty big. So there's a pond behind me, behind all these palms. And then there's a palm in front of me, or a pond, excuse me, in front of me over there. So because of that, I mean, it is a little bit higher ground, a little bit easier to travel. I imagine animals are going to want to travel here, and I do see their tracks. So I'm going to mark this tree on X, and I'm probably going to walk a little bit farther down here to where the pinch point kind of ends, and, you know, look left and right and see what's happening. But I'm probably not going to go too deep as I went on the first walk. I was walking along the edge of this pond, and I came across somebody's ladder stand they left sitting out here. So here on the edge of this pond, not a bad spot. It's got to be here, you know. I think they come out and use it just based on the rope here. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's been out here in the rain a couple times, but they got it set up to pull up in there. Well, I don't feel like crossing that. Well, it's getting a little hot, so I'm gonna head back to the truck. I came to this, it's a slough, that's what it's called, but it's basically just a little creek bed. It's pretty full right now because it's been raining a lot. There's a good amount of sign on it. It's all pig sign. I saw deer sign back walking this way because it was higher up, but I guess now that we're more in the swamp, the pigs are coming. I mean, there's tracks all over here, so. Yep, I'm gonna walk back, but there's no real trees to sit on this. I'd love to sit on it because it's so open right here, and your shot opportunities would be pretty good. But it's also, you know, a few inches of water, ankle deep. But yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna go back to the truck. Well, not a bad day. We found a couple good spots, some real good sign. We ran into that one pig, and then about 10 yards, walked right up on it right when we got here. That was cool. I think the first spot I went to is probably what I'm gonna focus on, just because it's a little bit farther back, had a little bit less pressure, and the animals seem to be moving a lot more freely back there. They're crossing trails and coming out into the open more, just judging by their sign. Where I just finished up, it was just more people traffic, I guess. I saw a couple bike tire tracks and stuff like that. So all the track that I saw was at really focused pinch points where they had to come out and cross from really thick parts. So that one's probably gonna be harder to hunt, which, I mean, you can hunt the pinch points, and you know, that's usually what you do and what a lot of people do. So I might give it a shot. I guess it just depends on the wind for those pinch points, but overall, pretty good day. Look forward to getting out here soon.